What's up, everybody? I'm going to give you a choice. I got the blue pill and I got the red pill. The blue pill, you turn this shit off, you go watch some other podcast, you go watch your Netflix. Or you take the red pill with us and you party with the Bodhi Bros.
Oh, shit.
I'm Phoenix Ray.
I'm John with the J. Thanks for the surprise, Ray. Didn't know that was coming. a red and a blue pill. Can you for those that don't know, because sometimes we assume that everyone knows, what is the red and the blue pill? What does it represent?
Well, the red pill represents awakening and truth, expanded consciousness. The blue pill represents fear, ego, going to sleep, unconsciousness.
Got it. What a great introduction, man. You blew me away with that. And you got, all the gear. Phoenix shirt, Bodhi beads. Burning this or down, dude. With the aviators, man. It's good because this is why this works, because I'm a little down today. I've been battling some stuff still physically, dark night of the soul shit. But I'm fighting and I'm learning. But here you are today, man, raising the roof, man. So that's so fucking awesome. I appreciate you endlessly, brother. So
you're Bodhi Bros, man.
For life.
All right. So we're doing energetic reading for the week of 7/18. What we do is John and I will each pull a card. We'll pull a card for a career, relationship, and then incoming energy. So we each pull a card, and then if you want, it depends how you want to do this. You could pick one of our cards. You could pick John's card for career, my card for relationship, John's cards for this, whatever you want. Or let's say for career, you pick John for your main job, and then let's say your side hustle, you pick my card or business that you're wanting to start. Same with relationship. You could pick one of our cards for your significant other relationship, romantic relationship, or the other person for a family or friend relationship. You have the power. You took the red pill.
Or the red deck.
There it is.
Or the blue deck. What? Or don't be scared of the blue one. Or the pink and red deck-ish.
I like those like satchels, man.
Yeah. So I picked the 3 satcheled
decks
today.
It come with satchels, or those?
No. These are things that my partner had procured, and she protects some of her favorite decks in them. And so I'm rocking some of her favorite decks today. One of the books is going to be hard to read. If I can't read it, we'll just they're one-word cards anyway. So I think you're familiar with them, Mr. Phoenix. But yeah, I've got 3 decks today. Ray, you said you're rocking 1, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me wait till I unfreeze here.
Sure. And so let me see. I guess I'll start with this one for career or money or projects or whatever you want this card to be. And I will reveal that.
What you got?
You know this deck. You know it. Do you know it? Do you know where I'm going?
Oh, Frequency Tarot. That's a classic one right there.
Right. This one's pretty beat up too, man. That's why it's kind of in the satchel too, to protect it, because the cardboard is starting to give here. But this has got this is a 77 card deck. The book is almost impossible to read, but I have my old man reading, a phone light that we'll use.
I don't have that deck, but I've worked with it before.
Oh, you don't have it? I thought you had this.
I don't have it, but I know I know someone who does. So I've
oh, cool. Nice. And what deck are you?
I am using the infamous Taut Tarot deck, and you can see this is beat up. This is probably my favorite deck. My most accurate deck. This is I use this deck on a daily basis. This is my go-to deck.
Your ride or die deck. Ride or die deck.
This is the ride or die deck. Not to be confused with the Rider Tarot deck. The Taut.
Right. Taut. Got it. Boom. The back of the cards here.
There. This. This is created by Crowley.
Oh, this is a Teal Swan deck.
BT Dubs. This deck doesn't come with a book, and there's a book you could buy.
Okay.
but there's a lot of different interpretations on this. So what I'm using is I'm using a certain website for my reading.
Oh, got it.
So
Okay.
called it's called Angel Pass is the name of the website. So I have it already like up here, so I could pick whatever card comes
Good.
up, and this site gives like really good readings that go along with it.
Okay.
So all right, so let's get down to business. This is for
7/18/21.
1820.
7/18/21. Whoa! Just freaked my cat out. We blew the frequency deck up, and the cat said, my other podcast partner has vacated the premise. Let's see here. I'm gonna like listen to the audience. I'm gonna go. Nope, not there. Yeah, like right. What do you guys think? Okay, yeah. Okay, that's the one. Okay, so we pull. Oh, it's like tight.
Yeah,
Security.
security. Okay, I got peace. Two of Swords.
Two of Swords, peace. All right, my card is number 54. Let me see if I could read this, Ray. Let's see. I'm gonna use the light. No shame in my game here. Yeah, that makes it work. All right. If you have drawn this card upright, now is not the time to face your fears. Don't do it. Ain't gonna happen. Don't face them. This is the time to send yourself the message. I care too much about you to deny you the feeling of safety. I like this message. You deserve to feel a sense of surety in your safety and or stability. You deserve to experience an emotional state free from loss, fear, danger, and risk. What do you need in order to feel more secure? What do you need in order to feel safer? Do those things for yourself now. They may be things as big as ending a relationship, or they may be things as small as taking a bubble bath. It is not a crime to soothe yourself. It is not self-loving to be living in a perpetual state of fear.
Yeah. I mean, when we look at like self love and it's both of those things. It's taking chances and it's also staying safe. And I think a lot of it is timing. It's kind of like a wave, you got to know when to jump on and ride that wave and when not to. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, I do, Kenny.
when it comes to career, this is a thing where maybe you don't send that email out, that risky email. Maybe you don't take you kind of stay in your comfort zone. And it's okay to stay in a comfort zone. Sometimes staying in your comfort zone gets a lot of people knock on that a lot. Like, oh, you're in your comfort zone. You're supposed to stay out. You're supposed to leave your comfort zone. You're supposed to take chances and courage and blah 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 blah. And yeah, that's right. That's true in some cases, but in some cases it's nice to just kind of stay in your comfort zone and acknowledge it and kind of take care of yourself. When you're in a comfort zone, and maybe you can do some inner work or sharpen up your skills in different ways. But now is the time to kind of play it safe. So play it safe with your career right now. Don't gamble too much on things. Go with what you know. Listen. Go with your strengths. It's not a time to kind of go into those weaknesses and those harsh things right now. So
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Good stuff, by the way. Um, and sure, to take this time to maybe just breathe deeply into where you're at, what's going on with money and or career. And like Ray said, maybe not. Maybe you're thinking about investing in something right now, and maybe you should pump the brakes on that. If it makes you uncomfortable. If you have a good feeling about it, go for it. But this card's talking about do things that make you feel safe. Maybe the investment makes you feel safe. It could be conversely the opposite energy. It's not like don't take risks. So maybe you feel safe taking your cash and putting into something else because you don't feel like the cash is safe. You're like, I don't trust the dollar right now. I don't. Then honor that. Maybe maybe you don't feel great about cryptocurrency right now, and you're like, I just don't know what's happening. I mean, me right now, I feel wonderful about it, but that's just me. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's a certain coin or something, and you're like, I don't know. And maybe it's something as small as simple as I believe in Bitcoin. So then put your money in Bitcoin and maybe not the other things right now. Maybe it's Ethereum, maybe it's Cardano, um, but maybe it's not. Maybe you're like, I don't believe in any of those. I believe in this new coin, and I feel safe about this because this project is really going to take off because you really know about um, the cryptocurrency arena, if you will. As far as jobs concerned, yeah, like Ray said, maybe withdraw from hitting send on the risky email right now and make a plan that makes you feel safe and secure if you're considering new employment or um, that risky email or proposition or something like that for where you currently reside in your career path, and and builds and fortify. Look, if this doesn't work, I have this, or instead of just plugging your nose and diving into a sea of uncertainty that can feel very, very um, dangerous and push all your insecure buttons. Right now, according to the cards and the incoming energy, it's a time to maybe reflect,
Yeah.
fortify, plan, and sell as Ray perfectly put, self love and soothe, because that is okay, and you don't have to be that cliff jumper, that risk taker every day. And maybe this week you do, but next week you pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, and I think too, like the big part of this reading too is mindfulness, because you got to be able to know how you feel. You get to be attuned to how you feel about certain things, and does this decision make me feel safe, or is this making me feel unsafe? So it always
Yes.
comes back to mindfulness.
Yeah, thank you for saying that because that it made me remember too the second part of what I was going to say, and that was just be very, 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 very in this forthcoming week specific about what you want. Ask yourself that question because we don't do that enough. What do I really want? What do I need? And and it's okay if whatever comes up. Honor that. Be be the best listener for that inside voice and respect it, and then take action accordingly. And yeah, we don't. I had a gentle reminder this week about that. Really, 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 in not just we're talking about career right now. So in career, money, whatever your inquisition was about, um, but beyond that, and beyond this portion of the reading, just ask yourself on every level in life, and relationship, and blah 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 blah, so forth and so on. What do I really need here? What do I really want? And then communicate that with your friends, your family, your lover, your boss, um, when it makes sense.
Right. All right.
Boom,
So
you're up,
I
dog.
pulled the Two of Swords, which is peace. So working with the Two of Swords. The Lord of Peace is a card which advises us to climb to the high ground in order to get a perspective, particularly on any emotional difficulties we might have. Sometimes that conflict bogs us down so badly in our reactions that we find it difficult to achieve an objective view. Instead we wallow about it, knee deep in hurt feelings and negativity, never able to get an overview. If we can just move out of our position a little, see the center of the conflict, often we perceive a whole situation more clearly. And once we manage that, a way through the tangle becomes apparent. When we can see that pathway, we know that what we need to do, and it's easy what's really important and what is rubbish that we collect along the way. So on a day ruled by Two of Swords, if there are any issues about which make you feel emotionally sore and unhappy, make a deliberate and conscious effort to get to the high ground above the situation. If you have no pressing emotional hurt right now, pick a matter that causes you concern more randomly. a long-running confusion, maybe, or something which you wish you have resolved in the past. Use the same process of climbing above it with the intention of finding another way of looking at it, which is more comfortable for you than you know than the one you have now. And then stick with it and enjoy the sense of peacefulness that comes from finding a solution to something that hurts you.
Yeah, I thank you for the reading, Phoenix Ray. I the whole time you were sharing, I kept seeing, well, a few things: the perspective, and this beautiful escape, and climbing high, and looking down at life um, through a different perspective. But also knots as it pertained to career and money. Just we work ourselves so much, and we get so frantic and so tied up in being productive. And I got to do this. I got to go. Got to go. Got to go. Got to go. Rat race. Rat race. Rat race. All that stuff, and worry that we bind ourselves into like really tight knots, and our life looks like unsolvable at times. And then we look at the knots, and we're like, man, just we start picking it, we try to pull it apart and make the life peaceful again and make sense. And sometimes it makes it worse. The knots get tighter, or you create more knots, and it's just like fuck, right? And it's when we take that breath and take that step back. And I'm fit now. Now I'm talking literal, like a rope with knots in it, right? Or thread, something that you've knotted up, right? And you take that higher ground and look down, not condescendingly, but look in a different way at the knot, and you start to say, okay, I need to pull right here. This is what needs attention right here. And as you do that, you start to see it unravel a little bit. And then you get excited because you're like, okay, this wasn't going to be a knot for the rest of my life. Like I can work with this now. And then as you breathe into it and you give it a different space, a different presence, it starts to unravel and weave, and then boom, the knots are gone. So as it pertains to career, money, whatever, and the first card that we pulled today, maybe take that different, don't hit that send on that email, step back and look at it, and look at the relationship of whom you are sending that email to or going to, and what's buried below the surface there, what's making you want to send this email, and and not feel safe, and why do you not feel safe sending this email. And so as it pertains, maybe if you asked about money or whatever, um, what can I say? Like I keep running out of money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, or whatever the stress may be. Take that step back and say, what, it's that whole expecting something different to happen when I'm doing the same thing over and over again. So stepping off the wheel and saying, what can I do differently to get a different result? Or because this wheel isn't working for me. And and you can watch yourself on the wheel too, and put yourself through that visualization of, oh my God, this is exhausting. Like I need to create a different solution here, because A, this isn't fun. B, there's that question, what do I really, really want? Do I want to keep running on this wheel, or do I want a bunch of wheels going, and I want to watch other forces doing the work I want to work smarter versus harder, and I could still have wheels going, and sources of income and money and this and that, but like I want to do it in a different way. I don't know. That's what I see.
I think this one just kind of comes down to seeing the bigger picture and seeing, how everything affects something else. So sometimes when we're really stuck in a situation, we feel kind of constricted, and we're kind of like, we're trying and stuff, and and sometimes we get very.
We have temporarily lost Ray, but that's okay. We'll give him a moment to reboot, retool. When he comes back, he'll be stronger than ever. Um, Take this moment to thank our audience. Like, share, subscribe. Hey, Ray, you're back. We lost you from the very beginning. So you can big picture. Big. The only thing that we heard you say was is about the big picture.
yeah, it comes back to seeing the big picture, why things are the way they are. Sometimes it may involve looking at things from someone else's point of view. Maybe you're in a different level of management or something in a ladder, and you can't understand why this is this way, why this rule is, or why they do it certain this way. It's because maybe you're not seeing it from their point of view. You're not seeing the bigger picture. You're only seeing it from a limited perspective. Same thing with money and stuff too. It's a lot of it's not sweating the small stuff. Seeing the bigger picture means you're not so like, so invested emotionally in these decisions, or this has to be this way or that way. Like you said, taking that step back. Sometimes taking that step back too is calming your mind, doing a little meditation, taking some deep breaths. Sometimes it just means, what, putting that away for a little bit, not neglecting it, but purposely putting it away. Not like this, because sometimes it's, when you put something away a little bit, then you come back to it and you're kind of fresh and you can kind of look at it again. And once you kind of calm down or
Sure.
meditate a little bit, or you gain some silence and some perspective that way, and
Yeah.
look at it, with fresher eyes, new eyes. So, don't get caught up in the small stuff. Look at stuff, how important is this going to be, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 minutes from now. Also look at your decisions too. How's it going to impact other people? Is this an impulsive decision? Am I getting my anger, my trauma is kind of overriding my decisions, and I'm just gonna, like, I'm being um, reactive instead of responsive. So just take a step back and try to see the bigger picture and everything.
Mm.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I like what you said about setting it aside, and that's okay. You're not neglecting it, but you're allowing it to marinate. And when we let things marinate, it make things. I mean, think about food. It makes things more rich, complex, and you can even appreciate something that was once this even more because there's more layers to it now because you've put it aside. Like you said, not neglect it, but give it this time and this essence to transform in a way that maybe we can connect to it more deeply
Hmm.
and understand it on a level that is more beneficial for us and everyone involved.
Right.
Good stuff, bro.
All
Where am
right.
I going next? What do we do? Relationships are next, yes. So, I'm gonna do this deck, the blue satcheled sun
I like that one.
star deck. Da, da, da. What is it though? What deck is it? Hmm. Tis the question
We
about.
need to start making Bodhi Bro satchels.
Yeah, that's a great merch item. I'll put that on the list for sure, man. What did we talk about last week? Powder of three powers. Power of three powders. Boom.
Ooh, inner child.
So these are fairy tale tarot cards. Some are like the basic, like the swords and the cups and stuff like that. But there's other ones like this page I just opened up to right here. It's called the Yellow Brick Road. So this one is like a Wizard of Oz card type of thing.
That's
Right?
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a neat little intertwining of two worlds. So we've got fairy tales and tarot, and connect with our inner child. What better way to address the subject of relationships, folks? Neighbors, friends, country people, lend them your ears because we're headed to Relationshipsville, Population U. Could be a lover, could be a pet, could be a past
Never know.
relationship, or someone that has passed, could be a future inquiry of sorts. It could be something or someone you want to manifest into your experience relationship wise. All right. It
All right.
could be, if you want, another job question, a relationship with someone at work or a particular company, whatever. It's your call.
Everything's relationship.
Boom. Relationship. Ask your question. Ray, you got your card yet?
Got my card.
Damn. All right. I'm behind. Woo.
I'll show you mine.
Okay, go ahead.
I have the Princess of Discs. There she is. The Princess of Discs.
Is there a number attached to it or no?
There's no number because it's a princess one.
Got it. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. All right. I got the Guardian Angel.
Ooh, nice. I like that. Nice looking card.
And it is, looks like Roman numeral X1B. So that's 14.
Yes.
It's my birthday. We're going to party because
All
that's
right.
my birthday.
I'll read this one. So, working with the Princess of Discs. So this is for relationship. The card. This card is one of with a great deal of hidden strength and power within it, which promises new growth, big changes, and new beginnings, accompanied by the inner reserves to make the best of those influences. A day ruled by this princess is one on which financial matters will usually work well and where you quite possibly receive good news regarding money and wealth. Pay special attention to ideas you have during the day like this, and be prepared to think them through and act on them as soon as the time is right. Keep firmly in touch with everyday life, but listen for whispers of intuition which are sparked by a part of the princess's inner power. This is a day to be well earthed, but to walk with your head among the stars. The Princess of Disc has a hidden title, the Rose of the Palace of Earth, and here we find the deepest spiritual aspects of her influence. The Palace of Earth is the planet, and the rose is connected symbolically to the rose munda, the rose of the world, a symbol of resurrection and eternal life. Thus, this card touches upon the most important issues about being in love with life, its creation, its experience, its excitement, and promise of fulfillment. When we are able to enjoy each passing minute of our lives, we put ourselves in touch with the mighty and empowering forces of love which flow through the cosmos at all times. We become more deeply aware of the creative force of the inner goddess and more in touch with our own vitality and life force. So, kind of a lot there.
There's a lot there, but I'm going to keep it simple, simple, simple. This is what I kept hearing during your reading. Again, thank you, Ray, for the reading. Honor your intuition. Honor your intuition. Please, for the love of everything, under the sun and beyond, honor your intuition. Tap into it, connect with it. It's one of the most amazing gifts that we've been blessed with on this planet. Um, Work with your intuition. Talk to it, love it, get intimate with it, honor it. So in this forthcoming week, 7/18/21, that's from my heart to yours. Make intuition a huge part of what you're doing, and
Yeah.
and really get close to that inner voice.
Yeah, and it also said about being in love with life and appreciating each minute. And so, I mean, that's kind of, being mindful, being present, looking around and being thankful, not always so set on the next moment. Because a lot of times we're always leaning into the next moment. What's going to come next? What's going to come next? And we never enjoy what's happening right now. What around us right now can we enjoy? Can we be thankful for that we could appreciate? And a lot of times with your struggles and stuff like that too. It's just appreciating like a walk outside or some some fresh air. Sometimes those are things we take for granted sometimes, but things that we could appreciate right now about life. And sometimes that can there's so much crazy news out there right now and everything going on. And but life doesn't have to be a struggle, doesn't have to be so hard. We can appreciate right now just looking outside in the sun and smelling the air, going out in the nature and enjoying life, enjoying every minute of life
Yeah,
right
man.
now here.
Yes. And as it pertains to relationships or whatever type of question you ask, or whomever you um, sought advice or guidance about, um, trust your gut.
Yeah.
Go with what if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. If it feels like You want to do it? Do it.
and appreciate what you have in the relationship, and appreciate those moments that you do have. And sometimes they say the grass looks maybe greener on the other side, but it usually isn't. So it could be, but maybe not. But appreciate
Right.
what you have in this relationship right now, and maybe you have someone who listens to you, or someone who's good caretaker, or in some ways that relationship. How what about that relationship that you do appreciate, that you are thankful for.
Right. And as it pertains to the other cards that we pulled and stuff, pulling back, not away from that relationship, but taking a different perspective, as Ray said, and looking at it and appreciating it in a new light, what you really truly have there, um, as you're doing it for your career, money, or otherwise. Might as well do it in your relationships too. It's an incoming energy, folks. Tap into it.
You took
um,
the red pill.
yeah, that's it, man. You took the red. You're still watching. You took the red pill. So yeah, man, good stuff. I like it a lot. Inner Child, a Fairy Tale Tarot, brought to you by Card 14, The Guardian Angel. Ba-ba-ba. All right. This is really long, so I'm going to have to. I mean, this is really long.
Can you get to like where maybe it says like this message or this card?
Yeah.
Now I have some of those too where it's kind of long and you kind of have to find where it sometimes where it gets to the essence.
Hmm. Yeah, that's there. There's a little part. Hmm. All right. Yeah, you know what? It's so long. I do want to read the beginning though, because it talks about the 14th card of the major arcana. Arcana.
Arcana, tomato.
Tomato, potato. Yeah. Over the centuries, the 14th card of the major arcana has been depicted as an angel or archangel, often pouring a magical elixir from one cup to another and standing with one foot on solid ground and the other foot in a pool of water. Known as temperance, this figure represents the unification of spirit and soul energies. And on another turn of the spiral, it represents the alchemical process which human personality becomes infused with divine light and wisdom. Ooh. In inner child cards, the image on this card is the guardian angel, the being who watches over the evolution of a child and protects and heals it during times of crisis. It goes on to more historical stuff, but then it says when this card appears in your reading, open your heart and mind to the gentle rhythms that can restore your sense of balance and equilibrium. Often, when we are making major life changes, we need protection and guidance. As a young child, it is very important to feel safe. Do you feel safe and secure? Call for the assistance of higher forces. They will come and tenderly embrace you.
Wow. Whatever for some when you were reading that, what kind of came to my mind was I don't know what everybody listen to this might not know, but I was thinking about the completion process, and I was thinking about how you pull in safe support figures and having that safe support, and feeling that safety. And that's something that we could always do is we can create a safe support figure within us. We may already have that already sort of in a deity, a religious figure, or a spirit guide, or we may call your higher self. It doesn't really matter. I mean, whatever resonates with you. Um, we may have living support figures too. I mean, obviously like our parents maybe, or a
Yeah.
sibling or a friend, but sometimes they can't always be there at all times though. But we could always maybe have something that kind of reminds us of them, or or something that like something that we can carry, or something like that reminds us of like our father or brother or something like that, or kind of keep that within us. Or we can use our imagination too, and sometimes when a stressful situation we can call upon a safe support figure to be there for our protection, or make us feel more confident and give us that reassurance that we need in that moment. um, and it's also too it's when this comes to relationship, and it's very important that we feel safe in relationships. And that kind of goes back to even like the work one, not taking that always going outside your comfort zone, but you want to be in a relationship with someone that you feel safe and you feel protected with. And if you don't feel that, that's when we question ourselves and we say like, hey, do I feel safe right now? How is this making me feel? Do I feel protected? It's very important that we, if we're dating someone, or even in our family, that we feel safe and secure, and we're all entitled to that. So that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, beautiful as always. And I'll keep it simple again. Call in your guides. Call in your guides. Phoenix Ray, call in your guides. Just call them in. Sit back,
Yeah.
relax, and just call for it. Open your heart, as it said, and your mind wide open. Just open up the doors and say. Now, as Ray depicted, very specific people, ancestral, or they could even be fictitious. Um, Entities, if you will, as long as it breeds and breathes safety and security into you, that's fine. But if you don't know, or who or whom your guardians are, your messengers are, your guides are, there's different words, however you connect with them, whatever feels good for you, or whatever you're specifically looking for too. And in this case, it talks about protection and feeling safe and secure. Um, and we're talking about relationships. Call that in specifically. Say you want something new, or you don't know what or whom to turn to, whatever, and just allow what comes up, or whom or multiple people show up for you, and there's your experience, and take comfort in what or whomever shows up for you. And this is why you hear people say we're never alone. You don't have to be alone. If you feel alone right now in a relationship, or you don't have a specific relationship you want, call in your guides. Your guides are willing to hang out all the time, man. They're just waiting for the opportunities to show up for you, and love you, and be present with you, and help guide you in the ways that make most sense at this particular time in your life, and where you're at in your journey. But we're talking about safety, protection. Call in your guides. Call them in. I feel like I need protection right now. I feel like I need safety. Who is it? And if, like, Ray said, who it is, call that person in, and hold on to them, and turn on the disco lights, and have a party with this guardian angel or angels.
And it could also mean to use protection too, for those
Yeah.
single people out there.
Yes, sure. We're talking about relationships. So you can take these readings however you want. So that's a very good point, Phoenix Ray. Yes.
Use protection.
Yes. All right. We
All
good?
right.
All right. Now, this is the general incoming energy. So if you have any type of question that we haven't covered, or that you want, this is a time to allow my card, Ray's card, both of our cards, to help give you some pathways to consider exploring. Um, or it could be a shadow card for you. You want to know what you don't know, you don't know. Maybe it's something about your guardian angel that you've never met, because you're like, I don't have one. I don't believe in them, or I don't know. Whatever the case may be, maybe this card will help illuminate that subject for you. I don't know. It's up to you. I've got a new deck, though. I'm pulling out of this one that was sheathed in this. And I'm going Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin. Oh, Oracle.
Look at the back of this one.
Damn, she's hot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful deck, man. These cards are.
Sexy duck.
I mean, you like this. Look at this. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
All right. I gotta get these in order here. Some are upside down. Look at the back of this card. What? Beautiful. All right, tapping out the old, bringing in the new. I actually have a calendar over there. I'm kind of like focusing on 2, 7, 18, 21 energy. Get a little Kermit's foot on there action. All right. Mingus the monkey love. All right. Everyone's a part of this game. What? Okay. Oh,
This one's a major.
step with me. Come on, let's work with me. I'm bringing sexy back, Ray.
All right, bring it,
Oh,
man.
oh, hello. Yep. Uh,
What you got?
I've got the Ivory Swan Goddess.
Ooh. Yeah.
Card number 15. So I pulled
15.
14. Now I pulled 15. Makes sense. That's usually the way I roll. Very much bada bing, bada
I
boomish.
got card number 16.
Oh, look at us.
The Tower.
As I say, tower or power?
Tower.
Tower with a
Tower.
T. T.
Tower.
Like
But it
Mr.
could be
T.
power.
Like Mr. T?
Like Mr. T. Tower.
Got it. Tower. All right.
Who goes first? I don't remember. I think you go first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm up to bat.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna use the light again because small print. Okay. Whoa. We're telling ghost stories here. This is the Ivory Swan Goddess. Turn your lights down low and get ready to go for a ride, folks. All right. The Ivory Swan Goddess speaks of spiritual grace and purity. The purity of your soul, light, never fades, beloved. Release guilt, shame, judgment, or fear that you are not enough in any way, so that you may realize your beauty, be more of yourself, and shine your divine essence into the world. Now, there's a lot here, so let me pick. Ooh. This talks about something I like doing, so I might have to read this part. All right, this is healing. There's like I said, it's a beautiful deck. Seek it out, folks. There's a lot here. There's prayer. There's healing with the Ivory Swan Goddess. All right, we like healing. Let's talk about healing.
Okay.
All right, find a quiet, private space with a pen and your journal, and sit down. No, it doesn't say it like that, but I'm just all right. And write a letter to yourself from your higher self, which is unconditionally loving. I love this. All right. This letter is to affirm that you now love yourself unconditionally, that you do not judge or condemn yourself, that you forgive yourself for being human and needing to learn lessons, that you are now ready to release shame and guilt so that you can more accurately be who you are in truth. You can add any other unconditionally accepting and loving statements from your soul to the letter. It doesn't matter whether you fully believe the unconditional love in your words, you will in time. And why not start cultivating that higher capacity for loving acceptance right now? Say gently, beloved Kuan Yin, you encouraged betrayal, violation, abuse, and misunderstanding in your lifetime, yet you ascended as a soul of pure light and deep compassion, a being of grace, an ivory swan goddess. I now ask that you witness this soul letter and help me open my heart to receive your grace. It ends by saying, and this is the most important part, folks. This is why therapy is so powerful. Then read your letter aloud with love. If feelings come up as you read, just let them come up and go without attachment or fear. Allow yourself to just release them now. Imagine Kuan Yin's pure light shining from within you, brighter and brighter, opening up light, the pure white wings of a swan, with light soft and pure as creamy ivory. This is a soul healing.
Beautiful. That was a beautiful exercise. So what happens is we become identified up here, the mind, the ego. We become too mind of like who I am, too caught up in concepts. Sometimes we have these concepts that, I'm a spiritual person. I shouldn't be feeling these things, or I shouldn't have done that stuff. And we kind of judge and we shame ourselves. And then when our spiritual practices, we come from the heart, from the mind, we come back to the heart. The heart is pure love. I mean, the heart doesn't need a reason to love, doesn't even need a reason to forgive. It's just the nature of the heart. So what you're doing is you're coming from here, the mind to the heart, and you're letting the heart speak. Because the mind says, I have all these problems. I have these anxieties, I have these traumas, and maybe low self-worth, problems. All these problems are in the mind. And sometimes you could use the mind to figure them out, but most of the time it just creates more and more anxiety. Da 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 da. It's like a prison. So it's come to the heart, listen to the heart, let the heart write that letter. So you may have to do some breathing. You may have to put on some whatever music, whatever opens your heart. Use that as a tool to kind of it's like kind of turning on the like lighting a match, like lighting a candle. And then from there, once the heart opens, and it's getting, like we said before in those other readings, it's getting the heart perspective rather than the ego perspective. And because the ego is always like, I'm not enough. I need to be different than how I am. I'm never, because the ego is always trying to get that love from somewhere externally. And it thinks it needs to be somehow different or better or healed or some other condition. There's always a condition involved in that love. But the heart just loves, doesn't need a reason. So you get that overhead view, that eagle view, the phoenix view. Look
Yeah.
on it, the ego. Look on all those parts of you that identify with those faults and identify with those traumas, and right from the heart, and let that know that you are enough. You are lovable. You are worthy. You're worthy of all that love. You're worthy of love just exactly the way you are, with no need to be different. Yeah, it's all right here.
Yeah, man. Thank you for focusing on the heart, Ray. And Ray has a beautiful page called The Path of the Awakened Heart. Is that correct?
Yes.
I said it right. Yes. So you can find that on Facebook if you want to join that beloved group. He posts a lot of great stuff in there. And the only thing I can add to that, I love letters. I've said this before. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give another human being. If you're struggling financially, which I have several times throughout my life, I've had lots of money. I've had no money. I've had lots of money. I've had no money. When I've had no money, one of the greatest gifts that I've been able to give to people is a letter. I could see how they've appreciated it more than, diamond rings and fancy things and all that stuff. Like when you open your heart, as Ray's talking about, and you pour that, uh, those words and your soul onto a page, people don't get those type of gifts every day. So when they do get that, it's a huge thing. And we're in a different day and age nowadays with texting and technology and stuff like that, letter writing has become almost a lost art of the past, if you will. And I challenge you folks. This one specifically, reading talks about writing a letter to yourself. So think about this. I just said it's the greatest gift you can give another human being. Why not give that gift to yourself, man?
Yeah.
Right? And there's some wonderful um, practices too that you can do alongside of this. You could, if you're wanting to enhance your relationship with anybody or anything, and you write "Dear Money," and you write a letter to money, like you're courting money, and you talk about when I first met you, like I didn't, you can take it all the way back to childhood. You'd be like, you were the most powerful thing I've ever seen. I saw people wanting to be near you and holding on to you and getting excited about you. And then as I got older, and you could take money, all that letter all the way up to today. There was a time where I pushed you away, and it's like you're talking to another human being, right? And the beautiful thing about this exercise, when you get to the end, you read it out loud as this particular reading said it, and you're like, wow, that's my relationship with money. And then you can work on maybe some of those things and making it more synchronized, so you can money wants to be part of your experience more, because you're not in a state of resistance to it. You've just written this beautiful letter to it, right? Then you cross out the word money, and then you write John or Ray in the place of money, because then now you're really And then you reread the letter out loud and you're like, holy shit. And it'll hit you in a really profound way, because our relationships with other things and other people are a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. And it's just a really beautiful practice. So something, just a tangent side note. So back to the only thing I had to really say about this to add to what Ray offered was, and I've kept it simple today, and I'll do it again. Focus on the white light. Focus on the white light. I mean, folks, seriously, focus on the white light as you write this letter. You open your heart up, as Ray said, and then really, I'm not talking like woo woo, like relax. I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing or anything like that. Oh, white light, what? This is some powerful shit, man. The white light is real, man. Like source energy, it's real, and healing energy, light is real. Focus on the white light within and around you. Welcome it in, like we're talking about the guides and stuff, and really just put your mind and your heart, especially your heart, on this white light as you write. If you struggle with the letter, before you start the letter, at the end, like folks, the white light's important here. The card was the ivory swan goddess, like white. Focus on the white light. White. Please, white light, focus. It's a beautiful thing, if you allow it to be.
All right.
You up?
I guess I'm up. All right.
You up.
The tower. Working with the tower.
I've got the tower.
There are many aspects of the tower that should remind us of lessons to be learned within the death card. All life is change. We can either surrender to this or we can fight against it. What the tower teaches us is that the power of life is undeniable. We can learn our lessons the easy way by being open and accepting, or we can do this the hard way, clinging to things and ideas that no longer work for us. In that case, life will come along and, like a hurricane, batter us with the winds of change till we submit. So, on a tower day, we need to examine ourselves to identify the things to which we are clinging that no longer serve us well. We need to be alert to the concepts life itself presents us with. So this day could be one in which people talk relevantly to you without knowing that they are doing that. Listen carefully for random symbols which will point you in the right direction. When the tower rules, it is possible that unexpected events will take place that you hadn't seen coming. If so, remember that to resist change is to deny life, and bear in mind that life is eventually going to win this battle anyhow. So lie back, relax, and accept, and keep your sense of humor close at hand. Sometimes we will be asked to take a blind leap of faith under the influence of the tower. Remember that this card signals breakthrough and extension, growth from experience and self-trust. Whenever you are unsure about your abilities to deal with things, remind yourself that you have already passed through in the things that you've already passed through in life. There is a river of knowledge flowing through you already.
Man, right. I was hearing it, and then you said it. And for those of you not watching and listening, I was pointing at the screen right as he was saying it, because right as I said before you said it, I'm thinking this is all about listening and honoring the signs that are coming up in this coming week. Like, honor them, respect them, maybe in a way you never have before. Maybe it's messages that you've heard before from certain people, or that have come to you via certain ways and from certain mediums, et cetera, et cetera. But maybe in this coming week, it might serve you well, and it might be most self-loving, not if you abandon your stubbornness. I'm an exceptionally stubborn human being, and I've been guided as of lately to release that stubbornness. Or it has served me well. It has protected me. We're talking about protection and security and safety. And my stubbornness has definitely, it's kept me alive. It's helped me in many situations. However, if you find that you're a stubborn person, or you're maybe not in general, but maybe specifically as it pertains to the question you asked, or something in general, I don't know. maybe just be open in this coming week, because this energy's here. Ray pulled the card, to the signs, because they will be abundant. They will be screaming at you in comical ways at times, and why I giggled when you read what you read, because it was very personal to me. But for those of you out there, connect. I love that we're closing with this, because it's such a wonderful thing to be reminded of. The signs are everywhere, literally, figurative, metaphorically, magically. There's Ray. There's so all you have to do is ask, just ask, or simply open your heart and walk out your doors, sit in your living room, and be open to it. They'll come to you in the most hysterical and heartwarming of ways. Just that's I could go on and on about this, but we have limited time today. Listen to the signs, listen to the signs, listen to the signs, listen. Please.
Well, yeah, you're right about the signs. The card also says about letting go of what doesn't serve you. A lot of times we hold on to those things because they did serve us at one point. So that's why we're always thinking like, "Whoa, why do you need to let it go?" It's sometimes it's easier said than done. It's
Yes.
like you said, stubbornness, maybe procrastination. Sometimes even those were probably coping mechanisms that we learned to deal with certain situations at one point in our life that no longer serve us. So that's a good way. I think that's a good way to look at it. They're kind of expired. They're expired ways of dealing with situations.
It's a
And now
really good way to put it.
as we've evolved, it's like those tactics. They're a lot of their tactics. They don't work, and this doesn't work anymore. It's like we've leveled up, and now those things don't work. And now as we expand, so now we kind of have to try to find a way to let those go. I mean, it's not always just a snap your finger. Though
Right.
it can be though.
And or right, maybe you agree with this. Maybe you're not letting that stubborn, we're just using stubborn as an example here, folks,
Right.
but maybe you're not letting that stubborn part of yourself go, but you're opening yourself up to other ways
Right.
as
Right.
well, because
Yeah.
that's an aspect of you that you can't just stomp on and say you're okay.
No.
John's not going to be stubborn anymore. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I wish it was that easy.
Right.
But like you said, it's an old program.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in this coming week or weeks or whatever, I tune into something new and give that a whirl and see how that serves me. And that opens up the conversation to this and coexisting harmoniously together. The stubbornness could still serve you. We're not, and like I said, we're not bulldozing or bypassing. And as Ray said, it's easier said than done to just let things go. But that's also semantics too. We're not letting this aspect of ourselves go. We're just allowing something else to exist
Right. So,
alongside of
so,
it.
so maybe a situation comes up and you feel that stubbornness, like there's a reason, this is an example that come up, that feeling of stubbornness, and you acknowledge it and you're like, okay, there's stubbornness there, but I don't need to be stubbornness, even though even though that's coming up. I could, like you said, they could allow something else to come up. Is there another option? Is there another,
Oh,
there's something else I could do?
bro, perfect.
So that's what it is. And, and the card also talks about change. And, we can't change everything as life is constantly changing. And, it kind of goes with, too, is those outdated programs that we use to cope at one point in life. Now life has changed and it's no longer, it's no
Right.
longer working for you. It's
Right.
kind of,
Right.
it's kind of like maybe you're a single person and you used to go to the clubs and dress provocatively, and now you're single again, and maybe those clothes that you were wearing back in the day, maybe they got you, they did something for you back then, but they're not doing for something for you now.
Right. You need
So it's
uh,
just a physical example of that.
daddy needs a new pair of shoes. All
Maybe
right.
you need to, like, adapt, and it's, go with the flow of life, and just, be mindful of how you deal with things.
And as always, folks, just sprinkle that in here, Ray. Bring loving awareness to whatever comes up. Oh no, do we lose your audio? Talk to me, Ray. Can I hear you? Damn, we lost him. All right, so I'll take this few moments as we're wrapping up to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, subscribe, share. It's very powerful. A quick thing that you can do for our podcast, for any podcast. Ray is back. Ray asked them to like, subscribe, share. It's a powerful thing that anyone can do for anyone, not just the Bodhi Bros, but your friends, family, social media contacts. If you have some time and you believe in something or someone, share their stuff. Go on their Patreon, give them $1 a month, something like that. Help promote their event. But, you know, if it takes a few seconds and you believe in it and you don't mind being attached to it, help them. I can't say thank you enough for this last year. We're still doing it, which means we still believe in it, we still love it, and we still want to connect with all of you out there and have this thing evolve and grow and become magical in all the ways that it wants to expand into. And Ray, I say it every time I get a chance, mainly before and after, but on air as much as I can. I love you, man, and I love that we do this. I'm so glad that we met each other, and we hold each other accountable every week to show up for each other and then for whomever else wants to tune in.
That's right, man. Well, our Bodhi family.
That's it. Yes, the tree shall groweth.
Right.
Right now it's a little baby tree. It's a little bonsai tree, but it will be grand. What's that?
Like baby Groot.
Yes, it is totally baby Groot bonsai right now. And there's the thumbnail. All right. It took us the entire episode to get to. Now I have something juicy for the thumbnail. All right. Well, folks, from our hearts to yours, until we dance again, enjoy the incoming energies. Go to the last episode because we're in that energy right now. If you need a refresher course, we pulled 6 cards there as well. Have fun. Never stop dancing. I'm John with a J.
Phoenix Ray. We out.
We out.